You already know what it is. BiggDoggChico to the C and the place to be. Yes, indeed. We're back with another one. And this one will be another Prime Parent edition with one of my favorite buffs. Once again, we got Big David Conner. His mom, Miss Gillian Bus Jones, will be joining us coming up right now. Look like she's checking in now. So we'll add her to the stage. Hopefully she can get everything set up, and it looks like she is. So, like I said, Prime Parents Season 2, we're trying to shine the light on the athletes so that you guys can get a chance to know them from a different perspective, hear it directly from the parents. And like I said, we have a mother joining us today, right now. And I think she's checking in from the ATL, Georgia. And we'll get it. We'll get
Yes, I am.
everything right now. How you doing, Mom?
I'm good. How are you?
Good. Thank you for joining me. I appreciate it. Are you checking in from Atlanta? Or
I
near?
am Atlanta, Ellenwood, Georgia.
Right? That's
East
what's
Atlanta. Yes.
East Atlanta. I heard that's what David said on the interview we did a while ago before the season. Let us know where he was representing from. He ended up down in Deerfield Beach, Florida. So we're going to talk about that. I'm going to flash some pictures up here, get your reactions to them, and I'm
Okay.
going to go through some questions, try to get to know the big fella, the best way we can. I'll just let you speak on him however you want to do it. So we'll start off right now with just tell us a little bit about yourself and your background and where you're from.
Well, okay. Well, I'm born and raised in Atlanta. We were actually born in the same exact hospital, Northside Hospital. Um, I'm a I'm a sister of, well, I'm one of three daughters, the baby girl. Um, whew, help me, Chico. I'm nervous. You do this every day. You do this all the time.
I just know that we have the people that listen to city that listen to us the most is Atlanta. I get so many listeners from Atlanta. So it's just think about it. You talking to your cousins right now. You got people in the chat saying shout out to Ellenwood, so they know
I see you.
you know
Seize the day.
my Gucci Man fans saying shout out to East Atlanta. You know,
Hey, I see y'all. I
okay,
see another mom. Thank
yeah.
you for the support.
Yeah, so the moms always come back in here and show love to the other parents that we have on. So we're just talking about the kids, trying to give them some shine. So take your time, do it how you want to do it, and let us know. Just put all the light on David. But we'll start with you though in the family background, like I said. So just
Okay.
tell us about a little bit about yourself. Did you have an athletic background coming up?
Well, not. I played a little soccer, but I was in the band. So that was my claim to fame. I was in the band. But we did have my dad's uncle played with the Atlanta Black Crackers, Pee Wee Butts.
Okay.
So yeah, we have some athletic background. Not that much. Now, his dad actually played baseball. He was a baseball person. So coming up at 4 years old, David started at T-ball. And but that's where he started. And then at about 6 years old, he showed interest. His baseball coach, one of his baseball coaches, said, "Why don't you all try out football?" And we tried it out, and that's been it ever since.
Yeah,
So,
I bet you
like
that.
I said, well, I'm the youngest of three. My mom and dad, they were divorced when I was 5 years old, but we have all remained very close. Like we ride deep, we roll tight. If anything happens, we're there. If it's good, we're there. If it's bad, we are there. So he has a huge support system from my side of the family, as well as his dad, extended aunties, uncles, everywhere. It's just we have a tight knit family. Sometimes too tight knit to a fault because we sometimes don't bring other people in as much as we could. Um, but he seems to branch out a little bit more than we do. Even just moving to Colorado, I remember. I remember when David was. He was, well, I guess we could get into how his journey went from little league up into where I was about to go. So I kind of not time to go there, but I was going to talk about his journey, how he got to Colorado. It's kind of, it was like fate, I guess, to say the least.
Oh yeah, definitely. So
Uh-huh.
all right, I guess I can help you out here.
Help me out.
We'll start off. We'll take it back first, and
Okay.
I'll share some pictures that I'm sure will bring up a lot of thoughts and every because the people say pictures are worth 1,000 words.
They are. So shoot them, put them up there.
Let's get it in right now. There you go.
Ooh. Okay, so that's my baby. Um, he was born on Father's Day, so he was an absolute gift to his father as well as the rest of the family. He was, look, believe it or not, he was almost 12 pounds, 11 pounds, 13 ounces, and 2 feet long. So he's been destined to be big since he was born, since before he was born.
Most definitely, and I have this queued up right here actually that I'll add on to the screen right here. This is a little segment from the interview we did. I want you to listen to this because you said it right there. Listen to this.
Uh-oh.
There's 3 questions. Something you learned from being at Colorado already.
Discipline carry you a long way. Like I feel like when I first got to college, I ain't had all the discipline I needed. But I would say like being at Florida, like it helped me for my next journey. And like when I got here, like you just see how far discipline take you. Like for one example, like when it come to stuff like meetings, like no shade on Florida, but like say we got a meeting at 2:00, folks be walking in 1:59, 2:00 on the dot. Like
Right.
here, you better be in your seat at 1:45. Like the meeting might be done at 2:00. So like
There you go.
Discipline take you a long way.
I like that. And speaking on that, all right, actually, sorry about that. That's the wrong clip, but
Oh, okay.
I was looking for.
Okay. Well, I was about to say now, discipline, I guess it was a little different when he got to Florida. He was a little more free
Yeah.
because, I mean, I know I look very sweet, but discipline was pretty tight here. It was pretty tight. David was something. David, I don't know if I don't know. I'm sorry, David, if you find out and don't like it, but David was something else when he was in school. I had to take several trips up to the school, and our extended family coaches. He had one coach in particular that would go up to the school at the drop of a dime, and he actually came up to, I think it was the first game, the first home game in Colorado this year. He was there, Coach Eddie Phelps, but he would go up to the school and take care of it for me. I am a 24-year teacher, but at the beginning of my career, David wasn't at the same school. And, you know, with so many visits to the school, I thought it just makes sense for him to come to my school. And then that way I can have a close handle on him.
Right.
But like I said, I know I look super sweet, but the discipline was tight. So I'm like, I guess the freedom, having that freedom when he got there, because even like in high school, he would ask me, can I go to this party? No. Where is it? Who's going to be there? Who's throwing it? Where are their parents? And normally it was a no. You're not going. So I guess, you know, once he got in high school, got a little bit of freedom, he went for it. So he wasn't as disciplined. Now, as far as being late, I'm still working on that myself. So that he came by honestly. So I am thankful to Coach Prime, his staff, and him being in Colorado. He has learned to be on time, be early. Even like I go to work, like we're 2 hours ahead of him, but he'll be up when I'm going to work. And I have to be at work at 7:10. So he'll be up, getting ready, getting out of there. And I don't know, he might make it before I make it, to be perfectly honest. But yeah, the discipline, I'm so thankful because I know he was probably tired of me saying, you need to do this on time, you need to do that, you got to be above board and do this, that, and the other. But when he got to Colorado, like all of that changed. It just hit, like everything hit for him. Even his apartment is clean. So even the apartment is clean. So
Hey, that's
that
tough.
in itself is
That could be tough for some of us young athletes, should I say? It could be tough.
absolutely.
So,
And he
so
was definitely a young athlete when he was home because the room wasn't that clean. I still have some stuff in there for him to come home this summer. Whenever he gets a little break, come home and clean that up when he
right.
gets home. So it's waiting on you, David. But yeah, so I'm thankful for the program because it's growing him up. Like Coach Prime said, you send a boy, they send him back a man. So I'm thankful for the man he is becoming, being a part of this program.
Most definitely.
Mhm.
All right. So, all right. Now I can take a few steps back to where we were.
Okay,
I messed it up with that clip. Sorry about
that's
that.
okay.
Here we go. You said he was, and he said it before in the interview we did before. He was almost 12 pounds and 2 feet long, and I was like, man, you better give some flowers to your mama for that one.
Big flowers, a lot of flowers. I'm waiting on my flowers.
Yeah, that's a huge baby right there. So he came out big. Now he's 6'6", grown into a huge man.
Yes.
Talked about his father also and playing baseball. I have some baseball pics right here where he looked like he was one of the biggest guys on the team, baseball
Oh,
and
yeah,
football.
that's him.
What can you tell us about these pictures?
Okay, so the pitcher, he played for the Yard Dogs at out of Gresham Park in Atlanta. So anybody from Atlanta knows Gresham Park.
Mhm.
He played for the Yard Dogs. Like I said, Coach Eddie Phelps, Coach Ricky Weathersby, who ended up being his football coach.
Mhm.
But yeah, that was him. He was big. And he was what was funny, I always talk about, he was the catcher. And I think football was in him then because he was so big. He would be basically tackling the kids on the base. He would tackle them on when they come, like some kids would even divert and go the wrong way, not to run into this big boy because he was big for his age. So yeah. And I knew because I couldn't even, my clothes didn't even fit. Maternity clothes didn't even fit. I had to wear his dad's clothes when he was a little boy.
Oh my.
Well, not a little boy, when he was still,
Yeah.
cooking inside. He was so big. I was measuring like 11 weeks too big. So he was huge.
Wow.
And the picture over there, that's when he played at Southwest DeKalb. That's also my alma mater. And anybody in Atlanta knows Southwest DeKalb.
Oh yes.
So
I know about
yeah,
South.
so he played for Coach Weems then. And so that was just one of the pictures at after the game.
Oh, nice, man. Shouts out to Southwest DeKalb out there in Georgia. And this
That's
one right
right. Okay, so that was at one of the baseball banquets. That's his dad. I don't know how old he was. He looks really small there, maybe about 4 or 5. But probably about a year after this picture, his dad became disabled. And so he actually used to be one of his coaches back then, but he
Mhm.
became disabled and wasn't able to coach. Still is totally a part of his life, still very active as much as he can be. Now, if something goes down, like I said, we are close knit, good or bad. I can call dad and he's on it. He may not be able to physically get to him, but he gets to him. And David's a good boy. Like he wants to take care of dad and he goes to see his dad. I think dad may have seen him a little more than I did Christmas break.
That's good. That's showing
Yeah,
that staying connected to his father. That's
absolutely.
most definitely. Here's something
Oh.
I'm surprised to see right here. Most young
Mhm.
do
My
this.
baby was on the chess team.
How did that? How do you think that helped him in his life, decision making or whatever? How do you think that helped him learning to play chess a bit on the chess team at such a young age?
Exactly. So, like I said, David was a little active in school, and he had teachers. I'm gonna say he had very good teachers, but he had there was 2 teachers. I see you, Southwest DeKalb. There are about 2 teachers that were similar to mom, very tough, very structured. And one of those teachers decided, I think you'll be good for the chess team. And amazingly, like I said, he was super active, super impulsive, but still was able, as you see in this picture, could focus, was very focused at
Mhm.
playing chess, even at home. So I think it just helped him to focus and take some of that energy and show his intellectual skills, to
Yeah.
say the least, because he's super smart. Now sometimes I have to say, "Come on back, son, focus," but he is super intelligent. So this is just that other side of my baby.
Shouts
I'm
out.
sorry, I keep calling him my baby. I'm
It,
sorry, son.
it, it's okay. And this one, I think this is one of the few of the next to the last one right here.
Okay, yeah. So that was he played for. Oh yeah. So he played for the Wallace Park Falcons, and they had an opportunity to go to the Dome and and play after. I think it was after the game, so they got a chance to watch the game, parents as well, and then he played after the game on the field. So that was exciting. That was absolutely exciting. And then that picture over there on the I don't know if that's left or right. It's my left, but the other picture that's like right before picture day. That was the day before the day of picture day when I was taking him to the park to take pictures with his team. But I mean, even back then, like I remember, I tell this story all the time. I remember a guy saying to me, "David's going D1." Now I had no idea what D1 was. I didn't know. Um, I was just, I was a mom, but I didn't know anything about sports like that. So when they said he was going D1, I was like, okay, yeah, cool. If I figured they knew what they were talking about, and clearly they did. They saw something because on that field, like you saw, he was big and he was aggressive, very, very aggressive, even to the point where he had his own coach. So when the whistle blew, he had a coach to grab him so he could stop. They were trying to stop him from getting any penalties, and for the team being penalized. So he had his own coach to pull him in. Absolutely.
I've coached some little guys like that. Shout out to my little league team back home, Speed Hustle Panthers. I knew some little guys like that. They're in high school now though.
Okay, love it. And this was, so that's, you don't have a picture with mommy on it, but that's okay. This is when we came up to visit. What game was this? This was family weekend. We came to visit. Grandma didn't take a picture either. She was sitting in the car at this time, but all of us came. Like I said, we rolled deep. We rented a house. We coming. We are coming.
Okay. And I think I do have one with you in there. And
that was the same game. So my other sister wasn't in that picture either. So that was the same game. We all came. Those are my sisters. Right there, Pam and Sonia. Hi,
aunties out there represent. Shouts out
aunties represent. And he has a whole host of other aunties that will be there this year.
Yes, indeed.
Absolutely.
Of course, we see them on social media all the time with the Well-Off Media, Reach the People Media, the pregame show, all type of media that's covering Coach Prime in Colorado. And so you're able to log on to social media and see him working out, doing this thing. How has that been to be able to stay up to date with them, seemingly like on a day-to-day basis? And
I love that. I absolutely love that. And sometimes I'll see it on social media and I'll stop the video screenshot, and send it to him. And he's wondering, where you get this picture from, I see you, auntie, other aunties on there. Oh, all the aunties are there. But I would stop the video. Aunties, more aunties, great aunties are there too. I see you. But I would stop videos, take pictures, send it to him. And I would ask him, hey son, why weren't you in this video? You need to do this. You make sure you're in place so you can take pictures, because I want to see my kid. That's just always how I've been. I want to see my kid. And even with you, you were my favorite. When he first got to Colorado, I called David. I said, who is Chico? Oh, that's my dude. I'm rocking with him, because as soon as he got there, I don't think the video itself wasn't about him, but I saw a picture of my boy. Of course, it was a picture that I wasn't there to see. I didn't see him when he was arriving to campus because we flew him out. Mm-hmm. But I saw the picture and I was like, yeah, Chico, that's my dude. Y'all follow Chico. Yeah, I've been rocking with you since that day. When I saw it, I was like, yeah, I'll be following him for sure.
Much love. I played college football, so I got a thing for my lineman. I played tight end, so I was next to the offensive lineman. So I got a thing in the trenches, and I love to see the big fellas. And I can identify an athlete. Some guys just be big guys and kind of lumbering or whatever, and then you have big athletic guys, and that's what and that's what I saw when I first looked at him. Okay, he's one of those guys. Then I saw him speak somewhere. I said, okay, he has a good head on his shoulders, and that's what I like. So shouts out to him. And that
Thank
first
you.
impression that I got of him when he came into when he first committed to Boulder, actually, the big fella. Here's one more shot from the Marine workout, which
Oh,
is going pretty viral with them working out with the Marines. What did you feel about that and seeing them online working with the Marines?
I loved every bit of it. Like I told them, they are trying to get you all tough. They want you to be able to breathe and run and have stamina throughout the whole game. Like it, I love it. I love it. And I know if it, it's Marines and with the coaching staff, I know he'll be fine. So wasn't worried at all. Okay, you tired? Get on out there and do it again. Like you'll be all right. But I love that, just building that teamwork, just building the camaraderie. And I saw there was some clips where it was a video where another one of the teammates, I can't really remember what he was doing. Actually, let me take that back. They were like running some drills, and it was the last one to come in. And the way they all gathered around him, the whole offense gathered around. And I love the fact that the offense wears white and defense wears black, because it's easier to, locate my kid and then the other ones too. But they all rallied around. So I love the fact that the military, that the Marines were there to teach some more discipline, absolutely teaching about, like I said, teamwork and being tough. I saw a picture where my baby was on somebody's back, like wow, they picked that big boy up, my baby's big to me. Well, let me say this. A lot of times when I see him, I say, with your little self, sometimes I think he's little. I'll say, son, you need to beef up. You need to do this, that, and the other, because he looks skinny to me. He looks small. But I do know that he is big. So if somebody can lift him up 6'6", 300 pounds, they're going to be tough. They're going to be tough to beat. Like we need a line, like no shade to anybody else, but I could not wait until my baby was not injured. And when he was, he had rehabbed and was well enough to get out there. And unfortunately, he wasn't able to get out there this season, but he's been looking to protect Shador forever. Even when Shador was at Jackson State, I know you put by way of Florida, and he ended up at Florida, but there was a time where he went down and he had an offer at Jackson State. So he's been looking to protect Shador. And I would talk to him during the games when he may not have been on the field, but we would be texting and talking. And he's like, man, I got to get out there and protect my boy. Like, and I know he can. I know my baby. I know it. Like, he's coming. He's coming. So, we looking for a championship. We trying to take Peggy to the championship. I'm waiting for all of that. Like, I want to see Peggy myself. I want to meet Peggy myself. But we're just so excited about him getting out there and just showing that dog he is. Like, even back when, before he got to Florida, he was still in high school, and he was going to some not camps. I don't know what you call them. With Coach Julius, he would go to with Trench Mob. I'm not sure if you would call them camps.
Camps, or was it one-on-ones? And
it was like one-on-ones or whatever. And he would go there, and I'd be like, son, don't do the people like that. Don't do those boys like that. But at the same time, I like it because I'm tough. I'm competitive. I want to win. I don't care if it's a baby shower game. I don't care if it's a football game. I want to win. So even though I was like, don't do the people, kids like that, help them up after you knock them down. But I like how you knock them down. Like, but help them back up. So, I mean, we are ready. I'm ready for him to get on that field and make it happen.
All that footage is online. Anybody want to find out, just go type in David Conner on YouTube. You'll see him smashing some of these kids, like Mama was saying, in these one-on-one drills down in Florida and such. But
I think one of the benefits, he used to play defense. So he actually was only on offense, I think, his senior year. He was only on offense his senior year, maybe a little bit his junior year, but from Little League up until, like I said, his senior year, he primarily played defense. So I feel like he has that advantage. He knows what they're going to do. He knows, what to look for. And he knows how he has to be quick because he knows how he was. Like back then, I was like, son, before this game, I want you to get me about 5 sacks. 5 sacks. That's what I was saying to him back then. Yeah. So now he's protecting the quarterback from getting those sacks that I was trying to get him to get. So I think that's a major benefit that he did play defense first before he became offense. And he used to be holding real bad when he first got out there. I was like, dang, getting those penalties for holding. But I mean, it's clean. He's cleaned it up much nicer. Like by senior year, even though he wasn't, I'm trying to think, did he get a lot of holding calls then? I think it was just like at the end of junior year, somewhere in there, he would get some holding calls, but he cleaned it up by high school. If it wasn't, by senior year, if it wasn't totally clean, it was cleaning up. And so by the time he got to Florida, it looked much better.
Oh yeah,
Much better.
On the practice footage at Florida, and that's when I became really excited. And when I talked to him on the interview, he said his favorite thing is to do is pass block and to protect the quarterback. So
yeah, absolutely.
That definitely reflected in the film I saw. And now he's moving from right guard. He's played all over the offensive line. So
absolutely.
Now he's right guard. And I'm getting word that he's playing left tackle this year. He's going to be competing with a couple big guys there. As if any position he played, he's going to be competing with somebody.
Absolutely.
Compete with him too.
Absolutely. Just be ready. That's it. Be ready. And like, of course, I want my kid to win. Of course. But it's a team. So even I need everybody on the team to be able to pull their part. We don't want that turnstile stuff. I saw some comments in Instagram and Twitter. People call them turnstiles. We're not doing that this year. We are. Everybody is going to pull their weight. Everybody on that team. So whether it's my son or the next son, everybody, we need them out there doing their job. Point blank period. You out there to do a job, make it happen. Mm-hmm. Like I told my son, don't miss a block. Do not miss a block. So that's the plan. But that healthy competition is good. That'll keep everybody on their toes.
I'm going to step it back a little bit because you answered so many of my questions. I was like, oh, check that off. Oh, check that off.
Okay.
So let's step back a minute and just get the story of how he decided, or you guys decided, to go from the high school he was at in Georgia to go take a chance down at Deerfield Beach, Florida. So what high school did he attend first in Florida?
So in Florida, before Florida, he was at Southwest DeKalb High School. And then he moved to the high school in our home where we actually live. And that was Martin Luther King. So he transferred to that one. But at Martin Luther King, I'm not going to talk bad about anybody. So I'm going to say he was at Martin Luther King. That's it. So Martin Luther King has a great basketball team and a great coach.
Yeah.
But that's what I'm going to say. He didn't play basketball. So things I work in Atlanta public schools. So we tried to get them in a school there, and the staff can put their kids wherever they want as long as there is space. And so that's where we ran into the school that we really wanted him to go to. Is actually the school that my school feeds into, my elementary school feeds into. We really wanted him to go to school there, and it just didn't work out. They did not have space for a senior. And it wasn't for lack of trying. The coaches were trying. I have to say the coaches were working with him. They were trying. They were trying to make sure I stayed on my toes and got everything in on time, but it just didn't work out. And I know that now it didn't work out for a reason. He was supposed to go down to Deerfield Beach. So what happened, how we end up even coming into contact with the coaches at Deerfield Beach, we were with, like I said, Julius and Trench Mob. We went to Dallas, and like I said, I didn't know much about football. I know I like to see my kid, and I know you're supposed to hit people. But there was one of the people that were working with the team, and they asked me, they said, can I make some film for him? I was like, yeah, how much? I cashed out him, kept moving. So he made film for David while he was there. And somehow, I guess maybe through Julian's connections with several different coaches down there, they invited us to Georgia Tech for just a college visit. Now, I thought it was just that, a college visit to Georgia Tech, check it out, go on home. But they had something else up their sleeve, I guess. And so when we were there sitting in the locker room while the boys were taking pictures, we ran into some coaches and they started talking to us. I absolutely never even thought about him going anywhere outside of where we live. I never thought about him. I didn't even want him to go to a different district except for where I worked. That was it. So I never thought about him going anywhere else. But the coaches were talking, and my husband, his stepfather, we were there listening to him, and we looked at each other and said, this don't sound bad. Okay. So we kind of considered it, went on, and later on, they were actually the coach had a team of boys, I think about 50 boys. I don't know. They had about 4 van loads. They were on a college tour, a 30 city or 30 school tour. So one of the coaches said, hey, take them home and let them get a bag and bring them home. I said, okay, David, what you think? He said, let's do it. I think it's a good idea. So I let him get a bag. I still just thought this was just, oh, he gets to go to these colleges. He gets to, meet some coaches, get some exposure, and just start seeing. Because at the time, he only had one offer from a school. So I thought it was a good idea. Okay, we packed him a bag. I took him back up to, we had gone to Georgia State as well. Took him up to meet the team while they were getting lunch, and he took off. And so he kept up with me. And who was that? Gosh, why is it slipping me? Coach O and Coach Glenn. I love them dearly. But they took him, they took care of him. And part of me was like, okay, he's big. I'm not worried about him. Nothing's gonna happen to him. And if worst come to worst, he called me. I sent him a flight and he come on back. So, I wasn't worried at all. I sent him. And while he was there, now in the meantime, before he went, I had paid for Wake Forest and what was it? There's another college, NCAT, North Carolina A&T. Yeah. I had paid for him to go to 2 camps up there. We had already paid for the hotel. My dad had paid for the hotel, paid for a rental car, everything. And David called me the week of the camps, because he was going up there, he was going to do both camps same weekend. He called me and said, Mama, I can't go. Why, David? He said, because we're going to meet Coach Dion. No crime. We going to meet him. They were going to Jackson State. And I was like, well, he was like, Mama, I can't go. So I talked to the coaches. They were like, Mama, we'll give you back the rental car money. Don't worry about it. Let him go with us. So I let him go. I end up, Coach Glenn, y'all still owe me for that rental car if you're watching. But, so I went ahead. I, forfeited the registration fees. The hotel gave us the money back. And at the time I was working for Delta, so didn't have to worry about the flights. Yeah. But like my dad was ready. We were ready. So I had to forfeit that and I let him stay. And he was able to meet Coach, and he called me, he was texting me. He just liked what Coach Prime was saying even back then. So fast forward, while he was on this tour, he calls me back again. Mom, I think I should stay. What? I think I should stay. And his extended family, and we talked about it and we decided to let him stay. And his extended family, our extended family down there, the Harrisons, loved them dearly. She became my sister. She took good care of my baby, her sons, everybody. They took such good care of him down there. Grew him up a little more. Then, we weren't expecting any of this. I expected him to be under my thumb. So I was glad he was with them because they provided that discipline as well. They had boys. They knew how boys were, so they were able to provide that discipline and structure for him there. But he ended up in Deerfield Beach. And so, like I said, we were working for Delta. Thankfully, everything I said, well, that was meant to be for me to work at Delta. I had started working there like maybe 3-4 years before that, but I was like, it works. So we would hop a plane, 7 of us deep, and go down there to the games. Like we did. We would hop those planes, grandma, granddad, aunties, everybody. His sisters, he has 2 sisters. He's the middle child, actually, of 2 sisters. He has an older sister, Danielle, she's 22, about to be 23, and then his baby sister, Dominique, she's 16. So we were, they're in the picture. And then there's little Mia, that's my little niece in the pink. Sisters over there on my right, I guess, my right.
In the blue and the brown.
And then his girlfriend, Alyssa, my baby, is on there. So, we rolled down there and we were deep. We supported him all the way. And Then he ended up getting an offer to Florida. He started getting offers everywhere. I mean, he went from one offer before he got with Julius and got with Coach Glenn and Coach O to over 20 offers. So, he decided to go with, at the time, Dan Mullen at Florida. We liked what they were talking about or whatever. He decided to sign with them, went there first. But like I said, it was meant to be, because I remember him saying, Mama, what if I end up in, when he was talking about going into the portal, and I was like, well, son, why don't you give it another year? I mean, and he was like, no. Okay? And now one thing about it, he is like his mother. He is matter of fact. He is matter of fact, and he's a decision maker. So, I was saying, give it another year. I bought all this gear, bought a bunch of Colorado gear now, but I got so much Florida gear. I'm giving it to a former classmate that we were in kindergarten through high school together. I saw him in the grocery store. I said, give me your number. I'm sending all this gear to you and your wife. So, because he is a diehard Florida fan.
Oh, you made his day, I bet.
Yeah. So, I mean, it just happened. Like, everything just fell into place. He went to Florida, but he hit that portal, like he said. And I'm trying to think, did he talk about hitting the portal in December? I can't remember. But when he told me, and I was trying to talk him into giving it another year, he was like, no, I'm ready. And he hit the portal, and
that decision was already made.
Got the call. Even to the point where we were headed to another college, which I will not name that one. We were headed to another college. We had a connection with the coach. I think it was the offensive line coach, not the head coach. We had a connection with him through the recruitment to a school down in South Florida. So a college in South Florida. So he called. We talked to him. Yes, we're coming. And then I got a call from Coach O, and he said, no, you're not. You're not going. I had to call my boss and tell her, I can't come because a car is coming to pick me up at 9:00. I was going to do like half the day and then go, because we were going to that other college. The flight was later. But he called me literally Thursday night and said, you're going tomorrow. So we had to abort mission, change the plans, and we ended up in Colorado. We ended up in Colorado and loved it.
Man, I wonder, and I have in the chat also a question: who was the first person to contact David from Colorado, and who was his main recruiter?
I kind of think it was Coach Flea, but I
don't know. Yeah, shout out to Coach Flea, and shout out to Coach Nick also, who's from
Coach Nick. Coach Kelly. Now, Coach Kelly, he's not, he's the general manager, but we got a connection with him down when he was being recruited at another college in South Florida there too. So when I got to Florida, even that, it just felt like home. I got to South Florida. I didn't know Coach Kelly, but he knew my mom. He knew my stepdad. So he knew the family. They had taken pictures together, doing all kinds of stuff. So when we were in Colorado for the official visit, he walked up to me and I'm like, oh, it just felt like home. He was like, tell your mom I said hello. I texted her immediately. She was like, oh yeah, Coach Kelly. So it was home. It was home. It was just meant to be. It was home.
I like that a lot right there. You talked about Coach Prime being at Jackson State and the consideration of David going there because of the impact. Got a couple questions for that. Do you have any connections to HBCUs? And what did you think about Coach Prime's impact on HBCUs as a whole while at Jackson State?
Now, I don't personally have any connection as far as attending HBCUs. My family, we attended. Well, let me change that. I do have some family that did attend and graduate from Albany State HBCU, but my immediate family, I went to Georgia Southern, Kennesaw. I graduated from Kennesaw. I went to Georgia State. His dad, I met him down at Georgia Southern, so he went to Georgia Southern. My parents went to University of Georgia. My sisters, my other sister went to Duke. So no, we didn't have any real connection outside of what I knew about the AU Center and people I knew that went there. And I know I have somebody in probably online right now, FAMU, Florida. FAMU, I know she is a fan. And she's an alumni of FAMU, but personal connections, no, but just people that I know. Oh, I see it. Okay, yeah, Albany State. So, Yeah, so that was the only connection. Some of some of those my family members.
Yeah.
But no, we didn't. But I was excited about him going, and I love the fact that Coach Prime, even though he got a little flack, caught some flack when he decided to go on to Colorado, I
Mhm.
didn't feel any way at all because I felt like it gives our boys and just anybody, those underdogs or people that may not have been seen by those big name schools, it gave them more exposure to go up to Colorado. But I love the exposure that he brought to Jackson State and to HBCUs. I
Right.
love the love that people started to have and the respect that people started to have for players in HBCUs, because it doesn't make you any less of a player to be at a JUCO, because we know a lot of people from in the NFL have gone through JUCO. We know people that have not gone through D1 schools, they went through D2 schools, or they may have gone to HBCUs and just didn't get that notoriety like they got once Coach Prime got there. And then people start looking at other HBCUs outside of, Jackson State. So I love that love. I mean, I support it, and I would have been fine if he went there. I would have been just fine, but he decided not to. And it, like I said, it was fate. He got that call, and I had no idea my baby was gonna be this far at all.
It's definitely. He's when he left to go to Deerfield, you were I kind of skipped over this. You were at home and you had your two girls there. How was life at home different without the big fella there?
Very different. Like I felt safe for my kids when the three of them were together. I
Mhm.
never liked for it to just be two of them. It didn't feel right. So say I had somewhere to go, I wanted all three to be there. So that was a big difference. Now I will say we had more food because Mr. David will go in the refrigerator. There were four of us. Hey, my sister. There were four of us. And David at the time, before I got married, before my husband and I got married, but there were four of us. I would buy 4 steaks. Why would you eat 3? Why would you go and cook your own 3 steaks? Why, son? And did you make any veggies on the side? Can you make some? Put your starch on the side. Make you some potatoes. No, 3 steaks. I would buy a family pack of chicken. Why do you have to eat the whole pack of chicken, son? But I mean, I'm glad he learned to cook, because when he got to school, he still don't know how to make rice, but that's okay because they have ways around that. But still, even though he eats very well in the facility, he's
Yeah.
still cooking chicken and sending me pictures of the chicken. I should have sent you a picture of the chicken. But cooking chicken, whatever. But it
So
was just different because I was just used to all 3 of my babies there. And
Yeah.
so it was different. It was way different. I will say I talked to my boy at least, if not every day, it's gonna be every other day. And if I don't talk to him most days, one of us is saying, "Hey, you don't mess with me no more. What's going on?" Like one day. So if you miss one day, so I did. It was different with him being gone. I called all the time, text all the time, but I could hear him starting to grow up.
Yes.
So that was, like I said, he had a little more freedom
Mm-hmm. Well,
than
he's
he had when he was home.
like you say, he has a good head on his shoulders. He has
He
that
does.
background that you set up, that good foundation. So you don't
Yeah.
worry about it too much. I want to ask you about that background, but let me go back real quick and ask you.
Okay.
First of all, I'll say, yeah, you sound just like my mom when I was going off to college and stuff. She said, "Now I got some milk in the house because you drink up a whole gallon of milk as soon as I buy it."
Out the jug. Out of the jug. Son,
Oh,
really? If you watching, son, really? Out of the jug.
hey, that's what happens. And he's 6'6". I'm only 6'2". Shoot, he's 6'6". I
I'm
know
just
it was
eating
gone.
it up.
I know it was gone. So now, though, you have to be very, very happy and comfortable with the way that he's eating now in Colorado and seeing the meals that Chef Solomon has and his team has been providing. How has it been just watching that and seeing that and just knowing that, hey, I'm good. He's good, rather. He's getting those
Right?
vegetables now. It's not just steak anymore. He's getting those vegetables and starches now.
You hear that, David? I hope you watch it. Vegetables and starches. Because like what David does, he sends us pictures of his food, and he makes us jealous because it looks good. It looks good. We can smell it through the pictures. But he sends us pictures, and my mom always says, "Where are your vegetables? Where are your vegetables?" Sometimes he have a whole lot of macaroni on it, whole lot of potatoes. But now he had some broccolini last week, so he's doing a little better with that and trying to. And I love the fact that they have to check in to eat breakfast for sure. They have to check in and make sure they're eating, because I mean, he's even stopped some of those Takis, and because he used to eat Takis, just red Takis everywhere. So he's even stopped that. Like I remember he told me, I'm not gonna have any of that junk food. Hopefully he's not doing that red, what is that, fruit punch? He fell in love with fruit punch in Florida. I don't know if that's a Florida thing, but when he was in Florida, he fell in love with fruit punch. But the meals, I know, even from going on and my husband can attest to this, going on the official visit, we ate good.
Ooh.
We ate good. So I am thankful that he has that. So even though he'll call me and say, "Mama, what should I buy?" I'm at the store, so he can have some things in the house, especially when it was snowing. Had to get used to that, because we don't have that kind of snow now. When we get a little snow in Atlanta, everything shuts down.
The city shut down.
Oh yeah, it shuts down. We don't drive in that, but up there he still has to go places. So, but even then, he would try to make sure he had some food in the house, and he'll call me and say, "Mama, what should I buy?" And we talk about what he should buy, and I said, "Get this, go get some broccoli, go get this, go get that." So I am glad that they are taking care of him. Even, I don't know if this is one of your questions, even down to the medical staff and the training staff. When he was injured, just the fact that they rallied around him, they rallied around us. My mom and I were there. We went up when he had his surgery, and they just pulled us in. I was happy to receive a call from Coach Prime while we were sitting in the waiting room. Received a call from Coach Prime and Coach Kelly, just talking about, how they're going to take care of them. And they take really good care of them up there. So Enrico, I hope I didn't say her name wrong, but she just very close knit, very hands on. Even after the game, I came up to the game. I brought 3 of my boys up to the game, and they love Colorado. Like I said, I teach, so I brought 3 4th graders. My coworker and I, my girlfriend and I, brought 3 boys up with us. I'm sorry.
No, I was saying, wow, that's amazing right there. You got to tell us.
It was so fun. I should have sent you those pictures.
Wow.
They were ready. They were in their Colorado gear. They had the little chains around their neck. They had the glasses on. Like, they were ready. They had their Shador socks. Like, they were ready. And they had a wonderful time. And we just took them up and just showed them a good time. And even the staff, they took them on tour. One of my boys got a haircut while he was there. Like, it was just, they just pulled them in. It was just amazing. But even at that game that we came to, I think that was the last home game on November 11th. After the game, literally after the game, I went down to the facility and met with the doctors right after the game. Like, I even thought that was amazing. And that was wonderful that they just, I went down, met them at the facility, and they told me everything. And he wasn't quite clear yet. And we were hoping for a bowl game. We were hoping he was going to get clear, go to a bowl game, but it didn't work out it didn't work out last season. This season.
There you go.
Oh yeah, we going. So yeah, so I just the staff, they just wrapped around us. Even, like I said, let me go back to when he had his surgery. So we didn't go to the facility the first day of his surgery, like right after his surgery. He was just too out of it. But we took him back the next day. Everybody just encouraging. I absolutely remember, oh gosh, now I forgot that fast. Coach, you said his name a few minutes ago. Coach Nick. Coach Nick. I remember him pouring into us that day. Coach Corey pouring into us, and all the staff, even just staff I didn't know, the interns, everybody poured into him. And there was even an intern that accompanied us to the facility where he got his surgery. She was in the room with him, came out of surgery, told us everything. Like, the care is just top notch. The care is top notch. And I could feel even a difference, because when he was in Florida, he had an injury. He still had to have surgery, but it was a thumb injury. The support was great in Colorado. That's all I'm gonna say.
Hey, I
I'm
got
glad to be above. Go Bulls.
I got
Sometimes I have to stop myself because I'm not a person with secrets. So I was about to say too much. But it just was a difference. Not that they didn't care for him, not that they didn't, the medical staff was very good, but it was a difference. It just felt like home, like I said before.
most definitely. Man, yes, you did answer that question already.
Sorry.
I do have in the chat though. What grade do you teach?
I teach fourth grade. I teach elementary year 24. I'm at 24 and a half.
Oh my God! So you're right around the corner from retiring, right? How many years do teachers have to teach?
30 years.
It's 30 years. Are you
I
right?
am right around the corner.
Yes, indeed. More power to you. Thank you for your service. I should.
I appreciate that because it is service. It is a service, a work of love.
Yes, I have a.
It's hard work.
I have a cousin and a distant cousin. I say at North Clayton Middle School. I hope I'm saying it
Okay.
right.
That's right.
In football down there. So shouts
Okay.
shouts out to Coach West and Coach Washington down there.
Absolutely, North Clayton. My niece, I don't think she feeds into North Clayton, but I can't remember. I don't know what high school. Myra, I'm not sure what high school she feeds into, but she is in Clayton County. She goes to school in Clayton County.
Clayco. I know about Clayco a little bit. All right. Shoot. Let me see. I'll ask some chat questions then. We've been on here. We're almost an hour in already.
Bring it on.
Questions, go ahead, get them in.
I teach, I can talk. So
that's right.
I talk all day.
Somebody said that you remind them of their sixth grade teacher. And when they said that, you just thought about, shout out to my sixth grade teacher. I used to love her. She used to come in that thing with her glasses on, had her hair right all the time. She was always dressed up. So shout out to her, Miss Terry, back in the day.
Oh, Miss Terry, shout out.
Let me see. Said, has she met Dion? I think you answered that one already.
I did. During the official visit, I got to meet him. And then, of course, they do the one-on-ones with the recruits. I'm trying to think, was that after he committed? I think it was after he committed. I'm not sure. Was it after or before? I think it was after. But we had the one-on-one with Coach, and that was wonderful. That was wonderful. Yeah. I like everything he stood for.
This is the question I had since you said that. This is just for me from when you were speaking. And you talking about how excited the students were. And it reminded me of when I was there on campus, I saw so many people from Atlanta, North Carolina, and who were just Dion fans from back in the day, right?
Yeah.
Now they're turned Colorado fans. Can you talk about that? Were you a Dion fan back in the day, his impact on Atlanta? And then and how did, like, David knowing about him and being so young, you know, that dynamic is different because Coach Prime can go in there and he can speak with a grandparent who knows him, the mother who came up knowing him, and then the son. That's
absolutely
coach who has that dynamic other than maybe Nick Saban, but not the same. Not the same. Yeah. Tell us about that Coach Prime's impact in Atlanta.
Oh man, like I'm Jerry Curl Coach Prime fan, and I was a little girl. Well, I was young. I was pretty young. I'm not gonna say too little, but I was young when he was in Atlanta. But it was fun. It just made football fun back then. And I have to admit, I mean, with the exception of a few of the players, I don't know any Falcons players that just stand out and just bring the attention to the game and the fun to the game like Coach Prime. Like down to the raps, there must be the money. All of that.
It
was bad, but it was good. You know, it was so bad, but it was so good. I mean, it just
people used to rag on me. I remember, I literally remember these times. I was in sixth grade. I'm dating myself too. I was in sixth grade. I don't know whether it was a rerun or it was new, but they used to play it on Rap City sometimes. I used to come home from school and try to catch it on TV because, you know, we don't have we don't have YouTube. We got to try to.
You got to catch it back then. You had to catch it. Man, oh my gosh! Like he just brought fun to the game, fun to the city, and we lost when he left. Like, and I know he said we didn't want a Super Bowl. We want one now. Make sure y'all pulling in some good players coming up now in this draft.
Y'all can't
Check
real.
out Colorado for this draft. We need, bring
It-
some energy to the Falcons.
Based off some of the reports I've seen in the news today, Colorado could have the 1 and 2 picks with Shedeur Sanders and Travis Hunter in the next year's draft.
Yes,
That would be huge.
absolutely huge.
Atlanta might want to be trying to tank this year, try to
They
get
need-
one of those guys.
Hey, do what we gotta do so we can get where we need to go. We gotta do it. We gotta do it.
That'll be huge. But to close us out, we got a few other questions coming in. Let me see.
Okay.
Let me get to them. And all the family that's in the chat. Oh, now to all of y'all. Shout out to y'all. And Rakina said, "Look at your phone." Said, "Look at
Oh goodness, let me look at my phone.
sending you a message, I think."
Fam, you.
Has Ms. Jones met any of the parents with the kidney repairs?
Oh, look. I don't know if it's too late, but let me see.
She sent the picture.
Of our boy. Look, oh my God. See, I was asking for this picture.
Put it up there on the screen. You can put it at the camera. Let's see what happens.
Okay, let's see. Let's see if I can get him up there.
Shouts out to FAMU.
Definitely shout out to Shiloh.
Those are the little fellas right there who came up to the Colorado game.
Let me see them go which way. That's them with David. They call him Big Dave. They love Big Dave. And if they cutting up in school, hold up.
They cut up in school.
Oh, Jesus. I don't went. See, this is where old people have phones. All right, hold up. Okay, there we go. I can make it a little bigger. All right. So, if they cutting up in school, I said, you want me to call Big Dave?
Oh, no, don't call Big Dave. Don't call
Exactly. Exactly. Yeah, those are our babies. I hope you can see them. Those are our babies. They were ready. Let me see if I look at them. They were in the locker room. Somebody gave them a helmet.
They ready to go. That's
so ready.
That's a once in a lifetime type of deal for a young fella like that. That's cold-blooded.
Look at them out there. I gotta show you. So this is us. There's my coworker in the back. Hey, Rakina. She probably had on a FAMU hat too. At the game. At the game now.
I see Rakina right there. Shout out to her, Rakina.
Hold up. See, turning the phone the wrong way. And this my boys. They were game ready. Hold up. They were ready for the game. They were so ready. One more of those. See, they had on their Shedeur socks.
I love it.
Ready.
Too. Shout out to Shedeur, just had a birthday yesterday.
Yeah, I saw that. Yes.
Yes, indeed.
Thank you, Rakina. I've been waiting on these pictures.
Yes, thank you so much, Rakina, for those pictures. Also, thank you for the super chat, Miss D Hall. Said, "Hey, Mama Connor, sorry I'm late."
No problem. You can watch it. Just look at it on the what is the repeat?
It just replay it. That's all.
Yeah, replay it. Go on back in. Replay it.
The East Coast Kev said, "Remind me of the movie Friday. How come every time I come in the kitchen, you in the kitchen?" I think when Big Dave was eating up all the food.
Big bowl of cereal. This big. Come on, son. Come on, son. Somebody else gotta eat.
That's so funny, man. I can only imagine. I've lived it in a way. Let me see a couple other questions before we get out of here. We at the hour mark already. This has been the easiest one. I'm loving it.
Bring me back. Bring me back.
Any other questions I can answer? I can come up with very nice pictures.
Put something in the chat.
Let me see. Love you, Big Dave. Rakina said.
Auntie, where is Auntie Sadia?
I did have another question. Let me see here.
I may have seen her in the chat once.
Tell me about the experience going to the game in Colorado for the first time, and then kind of compare it to the Florida scene. I'll tell you this: I played against Florida as an opposing player. That was probably Florida and Tennessee was probably the loudest places I ever not just played in.
Say that loud.
Florida and Tennessee. So, and then you get to Colorado, and they had a resurgence this year. And I heard the crowd; it was loud. It was something different. I just think that the atmosphere was just, they were just pumped up in Colorado. What did you experience there?
It was wonderful, like you said. And I was thinking when you asked the question right before you said Florida, I was thinking about that. When we went to Florida, it was wow. It was loud. Like had never seen anything like that. Like I said, I went to Georgia Southern, Kennesaw, and at the time, Kennesaw State didn't have a football team. And I saw one of my classmates, Kennesaw classmates in there, Jermaine, I saw you. But Kennesaw didn't have a football team, so we didn't have all that going on. And then I was kind of a homebody. I wanted to go home and wash my hair, do stuff like that. So I didn't really do the games. I got into going to games and things when my son started playing. So when we got to Florida, I mean, it was loud, fans everywhere, all of that. But it was something different in Colorado. And I will say this, what I love in Colorado, we were sitting around the whole, like all the other parents. Yeah. We were able to connect with the parents. It was loud music playing because are we going to have the same theme song this year? Or are we going to have a different theme song this year? That's what I want to know. I've been wondering about that myself. But just the atmosphere, the love, it's amazing. It's amazing. I can't wait to get back up there. I only made 2 games this year, but I can't wait. Spring game, I cannot wait. Like, we are coming. It's just amazing. I don't know what to say. It's just fun. I mean, even walking from the parking lot, which was easy to park, that was good. But walking from the parking lot and just seeing everything going on, I was mad because one of those little guys, they were giving out shirts to the students, and I'm trying to figure out how he knew I wasn't a student. I thought I looked young.
Right.
But anyway, yeah, it's just live. Like, I cannot wait to be back in there. I cannot wait. It's just amazing. The feeling, the atmosphere is just amazing.
Right. Let me ask you this. You said you were able to connect with the other parents there. We had some parents on last week. Shout out to the parents of Ben Finisef. They said they had a tough time connecting with the parents. Is there anything that you guys did, or how were you able to connect with the parents there?
I just happened to be sitting around other parents. Of course, the ones that had on jerseys, that helps. Rakina, you know about that one. I would never do what I did. You gotta be careful what you say when you're sitting around the families. That's all I say. But anyway, but they had on jersey. I don't know. Maybe it was, like I said, I did go to the family day, and I went to the last game, but it just seemed like I was sitting around other parents. Like, one guy, he introduced me to his sons or whatever. His ex-wife and her new husband was sitting there, like, and I was sitting right behind who is it? I can't remember his name. I know his number was 69. I can't remember. I was sitting behind his parents. And number 9, Lord, give me number 9 defense.
D-Mac.
Yeah, D-Mac. His one of his coaches works at my school too.
Oh yeah,
so he happened to be sitting right there by them. But we like to talk, especially my coworker who was with me. We like to talk. So
I would say this. It probably happened to me one time too, or at least my family. You have to watch when, say, someone messes up out there, and then you say, "Come on, number 502," and then you might be sitting right next to 502's parents, and
I learned the hard way. That won't happen again. I'm sorry. I love you. I love you. I'm sorry. I wasn't thinking. I was caught up in the moment. All the lights, the glitz, the energy of the field. I was caught up in the game, so I'm sorry. But yeah, maybe wherever their tickets was, maybe, I don't know, maybe they were closer to students. I'm not sure, but I just happened both games to almost sit in the same place, believe it or not. And then they do give out the tickets by last name. So maybe because like I said, I was almost in the exact same place both times. And just right there, I was sitting around a whole lot of parents. Travis's mom was like a couple rows in front of us. They were everywhere. And so we just talked and connected. I can't remember one of the players, his baby was there, and everybody was kind of helping him. Our boys were helping him out. He was dropping stuff and doing things and playing with their glasses and their footballs that they had or whatever. Well, not the footballs, but their glasses, because they couldn't take footballs in. Yeah. But yeah, we just got to connect with a lot of parents. Now, let me say this, maybe not like total personal connections where you walked away with phone numbers and things like that. No, but just at the game, we were able to definitely connect.
Well, I think this year, I think they are possibly, working on some stuff so that you guys can have that connection before the
Yep.
games and probably
Mhm.
during the games and after game, but where you can know who each other are and
Absolutely.
not just probably pass up each other, but you can probably that's a
Yeah.
networking opportunity also.
Yeah.
You know what can come up.
Absolutely.
So I think they're putting something in place to formally have a place so that parents can come and connect and not just
Yes.
by chance. You know what I'm saying? Because
That would be wonderful. Absolutely.
exactly, I think
Yep.
that'll be a huge improvement. And
So if that's what they meant, I get it, because I didn't walk away with a connection with any parents other than the connection of just sitting there talking and laughing and hollering during the game, rooting for each other's kids during the game. So yeah.
Okay. Mr. My guy William Berry had a question saying, "Hi, Miss Gillian. Are you going to make plans to go to them beautiful Colorado mountains to ski when you go back?"
I like to look at the mountains.
Hey, you like me. Me and you both.
I like to look at the mountains. I absolutely have no dream of skiing. I don't. I want to look at it though. I watch, but I'm kind of afraid of heights, and I like to be able to control how I'm moving. So
there you go. I feel like that about the ocean. A lot of people
don't
put
wanna
me out on the ocean while I'm out here in Hawaii. No, I like to look at the ocean. I don't want to go out
sit
there
next to it.
and have something go wrong. Nah, I'm good. I'm good.
Walk my feet around the edge, but I don't even, like you said, in water. We went down to we did a sister's trip down to Miami, Fort Lauderdale, and I did not go past my knees. That's all I got, just the knees. So for just the knees. But I love to look at, like, I'm a nerd, and also like being so high. This was something I love to look at the planets. I am a teacher through and through. I love looking and spotting planets. And when I was in Colorado, it seemed like the moon was right there where you could touch it. It seemed like the planet Venus was bright. It seemed like she was right there, so I could touch her. So it seemed like we were a little closer. That's my thing. Y'all can keep the skin.
Shouts out to Reverend BJ Nelson, said another great, awesome mama. Shouts out to Rev out there in San Francisco. My God.
My family, whole line of preachers and pastors and elders, ministers.
Here's your chance to give a shout out to your family, your church, all the people you might miss, your school family, students, and everybody else. Shout out time. Let's get it in.
Woo! Okay, let me shout out my 4th grade team at Finch Elementary. And we're going to take you up there next time, Tamisha Campbell, Rakina LeCount, that's my partner. We did take up our school mom, I guess you could call it, Miss Belt Jones. Shout out to my principal and administrative staff, Tara Cotton. Oh, I'm sorry, Spencer. She got married too. Spencer. I don't want to call too many names because y'all gonna be mad that I missed you. But definitely shout out to my family, New Covenant Christian Ministries. Oh gosh, Grace. That's my uncle's church. Put it in the chat, y'all, so I say it right. Grace Community Fellowship. I think I said it right.
Put all the shout outs in the chat so she don't forget.
Put them in the chat, y'all. Family, come on.
Also, everybody's talking about, it's nothing, but it happens in football all the time. Y'all saw on the Well Off video or either Reach People video where they were going at it in practice, him and Khalil, but that's everyday practice. And
yeah.
Speaking to you and speaking to Khalil's mom,
absolutely.
Y'all two have the same type mindset, same type philosophies and stuff. And I
gotta meet her.
And I already know y'all answers. That's why I wasn't even gonna.
Oh wow.
You know what I'm saying?
I have to meet her. I gotta meet her. I saw her interview too. I gotta meet her. Yeah, she seemed fun. Down home, country mama, don't play the radio at all. But let me shout out my mom, Laverne Butts Robinson, Birch Butts Robinson, my uncles, Fred, Rick, Gerald, my aunties, Vanessa, Margaret, Jackie, the other Jackie, like all my family, my sisters, Sonia and Pam. I saw you in there, and Dalila. Light of the Word. That's thank you, Mama. Help me, Mama. Light of the Word, Christian Ministries, Danielle, his sister, Dominique. Like I'm telling you, the whole family is in here. Who else in here? David, you in here?
She said your daughter.
I said Danielle, girl. Clayton State University. My baby goes to Clayton State. Let's see. Throw it in there so I don't miss you guys. Throw it in there. Y'all don't have but a few minutes. Throw it in there.
Big Dog, you should
remember everything. Southwest DeKalb High School. All my people that's in the chat from Southwest DeKalb High School. We're like a HBCU, just on the high school level.
Definitely. Real quick at UAB, when we had a slew of ATL talent come in, that's where I learned about Douglas High School. Shout out to Doug. Shout out to Southwest DeKalb. My boy Justin Colbert and Theron Dudley who went there. Shouts out to them and everybody. Southwest DeKalb had a fire. What they have? Fire band or something too?
Most definitely.
Okay, there you go. See there.
The best band in the land. Oh yeah.
I know what I'm talking about a little bit.
Look, let me shout out my daddy, Richard Butts. Where are you, daddy? Where? Look, she said, and your daddy. Thank you, y'all. Help me. I got my husband, y'all. Let me shout out to my man. He's not here. Where are you, honey? Where are you, honey?
Mia and Randall. Oh, now.
That's my sister, Mia Randall. That's my niece, Ebony and DeFrance, and Jaden Gurley. Yes, put them in there, y'all. Put them in there.
That's how we do it, baby.
And Chico, I saw somebody, and I love it. Somebody was asking about donating to our classroom, to my classroom. I love it. Right now, we are actually we are in a city school. We are in Oakland City, in Atlanta, Georgia, the heart of Atlanta. Like you go on the street, you can see Tyler Perry Studios. You look the other way, you can see the dome. But our babies, we need help. So if anybody wants to donate, I'm trying to get Rakina to put a link or something. I'm not, no pressure, but if you would like to, absolutely.
If there is a link, please
put something in there, Rakina.
And I'll make sure I put it in the description under the video also for anybody who want to support.
But we are trying to send our babies to Orlando, Florida. We need all the help and support that we can get to get our babies out of the city, get them and take them so they can see the world and see other places. That was the same thing with and I am in the works with David of starting a nonprofit so that we can mentor those boys. Like when we took those boys up to Colorado, like they have never forgot. They don't forget it. And we got other boys that now want to go. They're already saying, okay, I'm going next year. You taking me? We're going to the spring game. Like already got boys that want to come in. So
I bet you it helps their classroom performance, attitude, effort, and everything, knowing that they have a possibility of going somewhere and seeing
holding it over their heads. Absolutely. But we want them to get out and see the world and be exposed to things that they may not be exposed to right there in the inner city. And we just want to make sure our kids get a chance to see it, because even like with bringing them to the college, I don't know if they were thinking about college. A lot of times we'll get kids that say, I want to play in the NFL. But are you thinking about the fact that you have to go to college? They were able to see and witness for themselves. So we want to definitely open that up to other kids. But right now we have the Orlando trip. So definitely any help we can get.
They see Big Dave and they see him as a cool figure. I'm sure they look at him as cool, but then they also say he's in college. He's doing the right things.
Yes.
So that's a role model for these young kids.
You should see screensavers. The screensavers last year, everybody's screensaver had Florida. My boys. But this year, everybody's screensaver has Colorado, something Colorado. Even boys, even kids that I did not know were interested. And that's the thing. They didn't know about it. And so I do appreciate my principal for letting us wear college gear, Greek paraphernalia. She lets us wear that. Like I wear my jerseys to school all the time, hoodies, David's hoodies. She lets us wear that because it gives the kids exposure to something other than just right here, Atlanta, right here, right now. We give them exposure to college and beyond.
Yep.
Jeff, where are you in the chat? Jeffrey Jones, my husband. Where are you, baby?
And also we're waiting on the to I think Rakina said she's waiting on the link also. But I like that. While we're waiting, I can add this right here. You can talk about it after I play it real quick. Tell us some good qualities and family values. Comes from your family.
I feel like discipline really go a long way in my family. From like my dad's side and my mom's side. And I feel like just being a loving, caring person, cause like, on the field you want to be a dog, but like you still want to have sympathy, compassion, and be a good person. Like mama tell me that all the time, like be likable. Like if you're not likable, you ain't gonna be able to do nothing. And like my dad the same way, he tell me the same thing a little different way than my mama do. But like just be likable, like be coachable, likable, and you're gonna do what you do.
Yeah.
Yep. He sums it up. That's me. I'm on that tail. I'm on him. I've been on him since he was little. I stay on him now. And sometimes I know he thinks I'm preaching, but I think now he told me, Mama, I think you're psychic. Because now, through life, we've experienced things. And so a lot of times when they think we didn't know what we were talking about, now this stuff starts to come, to fruition. It's like, oh, you do know something, Mama. Yeah.
Yep.
Mm-hmm. So he just told me that recently. Mama, I think you psychic.
And speaking of that, I just thought about something. And it could possibly help with the GoFundMe and so on. And because you have that teacher spirit, you speak very well, and you can hold the crowd to where they're listening to you. I think this is my suggestion. I think you, and maybe the principal will let you do this. Okay. You should have some type of camera set up or feed set up in your room, YouTube or whatever. And I don't think you can put the kids on there. I'm not sure. Maybe you can
back of the head or something.
Just have it on you to where the camera is like a student in the classroom, and you can live feed some of your studies and subjects or whatever you're teaching, and that'll give you some exposure to your classroom, what you're doing. And then at the bottom of the page, you got a link to where they can support the page.
I love it. Let's connect.
Any type of help with that, let me know.
Absolutely.
Definitely.
Oh, yeah, most definitely.
That's for all teachers who have that passion, who's not just in there in the classroom getting the checkboard, but you have that passion. I think that you guys should set that up in your classroom, not tomorrow, but yesterday.
Exactly.
Auntie say right now, right now. Do that right now. Just set it up. Don't worry about what people are thinking. Don't worry about how you look, whatever. Do it, and I guarantee you that'll get you some type of a positive feedback and response just from your passion and so on. So shouts out to all the teachers in the chat.
Oh, and my coworker sent me the link, and I sent it to your and it looks like somebody else had put the link in there. Maybe it was me. I sent it to your Instagram.
Sent to my IG. Okay, let me see if I can pull it up real quick. Quick like so that you guys can support this with all you can. Let me see here. Okay, I see it. Copy and paste that. All right, so everybody in the chat is there. I'm going to also copy and paste it and put it in the description under this video. So if you're not able to click on it in the chat, you will be able to click on it in the description in this video.
Wow. Thank you. Whoever had that suggestion. That wasn't why I was here. I wasn't even thinking about it, but I absolutely appreciate it. I appreciate the support. Because we gotta, it's for our future. And I love it. Thank you so much.
That's what we try to do. I try to ask everybody who come on, if you have a link or anything to, share and to promote, get it in there. I like I said, a lot of things I was headed to ask you, but you checked them off.
We teach. Sorry.
I thank you for taking the time out. I know it's late there on the East Coast. I thank you for taking the time out to check in with me and to just talk openly and candidly about David so we can get to know him from a different perspective.
Thank you.
And they said they need 10,000. Rakina said they need 10,000. So let's get them up to 10,000 so we can make it happen. All right. Tyler Perry Studios is by you. And here we go. That's Stacey B. You could have asked that in a different way. I guess we're trying to say that Tyler Perry Studios is close. Maybe you guys can reach out to Tyler Perry, or maybe he'll see this because they always try to say I look like Tyler Perry's little cousin or something.
You might be.
Tyler
You
Perry.
might be. Call Cuz. Tell them
Big
help us
Cuz,
out.
Big Cuz, if you listen,
Well, I will say Tyler Perry has helped. Tyler Perry Studios has helped us out with a lot of things. Like when we've had productions, they like literally loaded a truck and brought over whole sets for us to have plays, things that we don't have money to go out and purchase, costumes, things like that. So they have supported us in many ways, but y'all can tap on his door.
look, we got somebody tapping in right now, Miss Tara Spencer.
Yeah, that's my principal.
That's the principal. Get out of here. Hold on.
Principal.
Let's get on principal like I call my sisters. Both my sisters were principals. I call them principal. How you doing?
We can make community as opposed to just their.
I'm sorry. Can you hear me?
Yes, ma'am. How you doing? Thank you for joining us.
Thank you. Like 2 calls at one time, so I had to make sure. I saw a text message from one of my colleagues, and I was like, "Oh, I got to get on this."
You kind of went out there. Tell us about
Finch Elementary.
Yes, everything that's going on.
Can you hear me now?
Yes.
Oh, so I can say the Finch Elementary is not only the best school in the Atlanta public schools, but it is the best school in the state of Georgia. I'm so proud of all the work that, my colleagues and I have been doing at Finch. We've been raising the bar with student achievement, and now we are raising the bar and trying to get our students outside of Oakland City, outside of Atlanta, and just trying to make sure that they're exposed to life outside of Georgia. So one of my staff members, a couple of my staff members put together an awesome trip for our entire school, and we're trying to get them there, and we just really hope that everything pans out so that they can see life outside of Atlanta, Georgia. So we're really looking forward to that.
Yes, ma'am. Thank you for being open to that and having these kids go out there and get that exposure, and being able to go up there to Colorado and so on. Also, I did have a question. We talked about them. I just made a suggestion to Ms. Jones to possibly set up a YouTube feed or something in her classroom. Is that even possible to do for teachers nowadays?
A YouTube feed to show her teaching?
To show her teaching, not the students, but to show her teaching like live while she's teaching, or to record or something like that.
It's absolutely okay for her to do that. She's one of the best in the building. So yes, absolutely. We'll set her up tomorrow. Where you want her?
Oh, y'all see that? It's for the kids, baby. It's for the kids. And
it's for the kids. Whatever I can do for the kids. Yes, definitely.
We got it. We'll set
you to connect.
Yeah, y'all see that. So y'all stay tuned. Look for them to be on the live feed so y'all can support them with the link. And we're going to get these kids to Orlando and wherever else they want to go.
We got to get our principal up to Colorado too this year.
Shouts out to Miss Tara Spencer. I appreciate you coming on.
No problem. No problem. Thank you for having me.
Before you go, give a shout out to your people too while you came on. Give a shout out.
Want to give a huge shout out to Miss Butch Jones, the best ever to do it in Finch Elementary School. Want to give a shout out to all of my colleagues in Finch Elementary and Atlanta Public Schools. I love you guys. I look forward to coming to work every day. And you guys just make every day a very bright day. And I appreciate what you all do for the kids and what you all do for me. So I appreciate you guys.
Amazing. Thank you once again. Finch Elementary. Yes, indeed. That's Miss Principal Tara Spencer. Thank you so much. And also Miss Butch Jones.
Thank you.
Coming on. It's all love and support in this community, in this family. That's what we're doing. So
thank you so much.
I was going to say final words before we get up out of here.
Championship bowl game. We got you, Miss Peggy. We coming. I can't wait to see my boy out there rocking somebody. He knows Mama been saying it since he was little. Hit somebody. Get out there and hit somebody. I can't wait. I'm so hyped for it. So I'm so proud of the team. I'm so happy and excited about the newcomers that have come in, all the old heads that's already been there, that's ready to do their thing this year and protect our quarterback. We got to protect them this year. And if they don't, they need to come see Mama. Now, I don't play. I get them.
I was going to say, you see the new guys coming in, and they're bringing in a whole nother type of attitude. They're older guys who's played before. So
absolutely.
It's competition that's been bred now in Colorado. And it's not so much the guys being comfortable or guys just coming in feeling like they the man. No, everybody's there, and you got to work for what you want.
They better work. They better all work. I get all of them. Mine, everybody.
That's what's up. Hopefully, we'll be able to connect once again, whether it's the spring game or
Absolutely.
season. I want to
And
have.
then we could talk about that YouTube thing. I may need a little help with that. So
Yes, I'm gonna text you my number. You guys, or you can hit me on Instagram anytime you want to about that.
Okay.
We're gonna make that happen because I feel like that's easy right there. I feel like that's easy.
Absolutely.
Easy. Yes. So thank you very much once again.
Thank you. Thank you. Go Buffs.
Go Buffs, go Buffs, and go hard. Y'all already know what it is. BiggDoggChico to the C and the place to be. Prime parents, once again, we're gonna be up and about this thing. Peace.
Thank you. Thank you, Chico. Bye.
Thank you, Miss Bus Jones. All right, y'all see it. Once again, another Prime Parents edition, season 2. The biggest dog. That's me, Chico to the C. We got more coming up next week. We have a Prime Parents edition. Should I say the name right now? Nah, y'all just stay tuned. All right, just stay tuned. We're gonna have another one coming up. Also, tomorrow, you know what it is. Buffum updates with myself and my dog Adam. All right, stay tuned for that. It's going down in a major way. We're gonna basically summarize and talk about all the things that went on in the week of CU and Coach Prime news. Y'all tune in for that. And each and every week, we got a Prime Parents, Big Dog Chico show, and so on. All right. BiggDoggChico to the C and the place to be. I'm going to be up and about this thing. Peace in the Middle East. Yeah.